So this is classic Montoya, guys. Montoya's like best content and the stuff that I absolutely love is when he finds crappy articles on the internet and then just loses his mind over them in his YouTube videos. King of the Space Dads, Montoya. Here we go. Let's watch this.
Oh, so good. Tis the season for
Look at how exciting he is.
giving, and like clockwork, every year, Massively OP gives us this beautiful steaming pile of bovine excrement they think is an informative or interesting article. And every year I cover it because I just love it. I love this stuff. So thank you very much, Bree Royce, editor-in-chief, for once again bringing us this beautiful monument to the ignorance which exists in Massively OP. And I know people saying, hey, why are you covering it? Don't give it any coverage. No, listen. Everyone needs to know, all right? I think everyone needs to know about this. So let's dig into it. The 2021 Worst Business Model Award. So first of all, right off the bat, when I say worst business model to you, what do you think? You think, well, company that does badly, like losses, right? If you went and started a lemonade.
Yes, but this is Massively OP. So this is a website that's made for players. I'm assuming Massively OP is just another like clickbait crappy website thing. I've never read it. But my guess is that Massively OP's audience would be massive multiplayer online players. So if I was doing an article about the worst business model, it would be the worst business model for the players, right?
Stand, which failed miserably. I'd say, wow, that was a bad business model, right? So it's curious that in whatever communist country they operate out of, they think capitalism doing well means bad. Or maybe it's bizarre world. I'm not sure. But let's dig in. You'll understand. All right, ready? Sit down for this because it's going to be good. Welcome back to Massively Overpowered's formal end-of-year awards. Today's award is for the worst business model of 2021, which was jointly awarded to Star Citizen and ArcAge last year. Yes, I covered that last year. Congratulations.
I watched that.
I wonder, who do you think might win this year? I'm really curious. Well, because I'm making the video, I think you know who it's going to be, right? The award is intended to recognize a live MMORPG of any age that has demonstrated an exemplary business model specifically in 2021, regardless of past performance. Don't forget to cast your own vote at the end. Just for fun, read a poll at the very end. So basically, you're going to read through all of it. And once you've read it, then I want you to vote, all right, based upon what you read. Again, I wonder, what do you think people are going to vote for after reading this? Let's go on. It's going to be worth it. Trust me. Stick around. Here we go. And the Massively OP staff pick for the worst MMO business model is, drum roll please.
Oh, yeah, that's really stupid. Okay, so these are the staff picks, and then you vote at the end? Shouldn't they have done a vote and then... Okay, that's really stupid, but... Andy McAdams believes it's Star Citizen and then crypto scams.
Star Citizen and crypto scams. Now, is crypto scams and MMO even? What? Okay, the whole NFT thing and crypto... Well, everyone hates crypto scams. There's no one who goes, yeah, I like crypto scams. No, everyone hates crypto scams. So it's curious. No, it's not curious. They're saying, what does everyone hate?
If everyone hates crypto scams, why are we still buying spaceships, dude? What the hell?
And what do a lot of gamers hate? On Reddit, gaming, in r/gaming, can we combine this together for a headline? And if you know how to do HTML, you recognize what they did, Jay. Bold letters, capital, H3 header most likely. Let's combine Star Citizen and crypto scams into one sentence because obviously they're related. They are not. Let's dig in and see what Andy McAdams, who must know what's happening, definitely knows what's happening, what he says. Star Citizen, crypto, and Ashes of Creation are his picks. So I don't know much about Ashes of Creation. I know about crypto and I know about Star Citizen. I know Star Citizen has no intention of doing anything with crypto, and I know nothing in crypto which is related to Star Citizen. But I'm sure Andy will find a way to merge them together. Let's see what he does. You ready? He says, I have zero problems continuing to give the worst business model to the game that continues to sell pipe dreams. Let's stop here. The worst business
let's
model
stop here.
Is a game. All right.
Ah, yes. Classic Montoya again. Dude, these publications are so bad, but he always misses the point. The fact that CIG made money does not mean that it's successful, okay? If you read the article, they are making that money doing exactly what the person said in that article said, which is selling pipe dreams. Right now, that's what it is. Because the experience the experience you play is not what you're being sold. Therefore, it's a pipe dream. It is what it is. I guess a pipe dream means that it will never happen, but at least selling dreams. Because it could happen, so it's not necessarily a pipe dream. But I can't agree with Montoya on this. I just can't. It's yes, Star Citizen is successful from a funding standpoint, but that doesn't mean that the funding model is the best thing for the game experience and for the player's experience in the long term or the short term. And I totally understand that, like, we would not have Star Citizen if they didn't do these things. So I myself have accepted Star Citizen ships and ship progression. It's dead. It will never be a thing. And now Star Citizen has to do even more legwork to figure out what a good gameplay experience would be, because I don't know about you, but every space game I've ever played, you start with a crappy ship and you make your way into a badass one. Well, guess what? Now I can just buy the badass one and skip that whole aspect of the game. That's not necessarily a good thing, but it is what it is. And we don't have these great planets and these spaces in which we could play in without them doing this. So I sort of have accepted it, but at the same time, it's not good and I hate it, but it is what it is, you know?
Give me a hand, you guys. Is the worst business model a company that made a record $83 million so far in 2021, breaking the previous massive year's record, which broke the previous year's record, which broke the previous year's record? And
no, I don't think it's the worst business model in games. I think like mobile games and stuff like that are the worst, but this is the worst. This is the worst business model for your players.
If this chart here was flipped and the biggest, longest line was in 2012, and every year after that was less, I'd go, well, there's definitely something wrong with this business model over here. But in Bizarro World, or whatever communist hellscape that Andy McAdams lives in,
from Chris Roberts' perspective or the upper management of CIG, it's the perfect business model. It's going really well. They look super smart. For people like me, it's concerning. It's not good. And it's not good for the players. Fear of missing out, all those things. I mean, look at the Cutlass Steel. That is very problematic. Selling things that aren't even remotely, market value for how they affect in the game. And
apparently this is the worst business model, which is weird, but let's continue. He goes on that CIG is selling pipe dreams to people without delivering anything. Fascinating, once again, because patch 315,
exactly,
in my
good and bad
opinion,
are subjective right now, in this case,
is the best we've had in years, if not the best patch ever in Star Citizen. The looting mechanics, the different type of mission types, the lack of 30k crashes. In fact, they've delivered so much over this past patch. Here's a chart basically showing you what's delivered and what's not. And if you take a look down, see how all these lines are pretty much 100%. A lot of it's there. Look, 100%, 100%, 100%. As we scroll down, we start getting to where things are not done yet. Chapter
Which are all the
1 of Squadron
important
42 is at 95%, and as we go further and further down, we see what's not done. Overwhelmingly, a lot more is done than not done, and a lot of it has been delivered recently. So to say they haven't been delivered either means Andy has no idea what he's talking.
What the fuck even is that chart anyway? Like, I don't get it. It's very clear the most important things are not in this game, and them being done doesn't mean that they're done. I bet you mining is done, right? Mining's not done. I bet you ground gameplay is FPS on foot. None of that's done, right? None of that is in a state of which you would call a released or polished or finished product.
Talking about, or he's stupid, or he's pretending to be stupid. It's got to be one of the last two anyway.
Again, I just don't think they're taking the same perspective as you, Montoya. I think they're taking the business model and how it affects both the game and the players. And in that case, I think Star Citizen legitimately has one of the worst business models. If you look at it from them funding their game and continuing the project to do what they've been doing this whole time, it's a great business model.
But let's continue. While still managing to maintain a cult-like following of devotees. So here's another thing. It's easy to point to some game and go, oh, Call of Duty, those are cult-like. Modern Warfare, it's a cult-like. World of Warcraft, it's like a cult. Everything you might not understand is always a cult until you try and understand it and see why people are doing it.
That's
and
true.
A lot of these journalists, Andy
That's
included here,
100%
don't
true.
understand squat. They
But
don't
Star
understand
Citizen
why do
is
people keep
cult-like.
on giving CIG money. Must be a cult. There's no other explanation. But
When
if you only
defending
took
it.
the time to do a bit of research and understand, or maybe ask Chris Neal, who works there, but I doubt they ever talk to each other. And also, we'll get to Chris Neal in a second. He writes a lot of articles on Star Citizen. But this is such a boring and broken old trope. It must be a cult because there's no other reason. The reason is Andy
I agree with that 100%.
suffers from some sort of disability, which doesn't allow him to understand.
Whoa!
Actually, let's take a look at Andy here for a second, guys. Now, so I'm not here to shame Andy.
This is
on
super
his low
toxic.
follow count, but if you are a writer and your stuff is getting published, how do you only have 22 followers for all the articles he's written?
That's not cool. But what I will say is, when my wife was looking for some work from home stuff, is there are a lot of freelance work, and you can get jobs writing articles on just about anything that might interest you. And this is probably one of those situations. I just don't think shaming this and shaming follower counts and stuff is
only
remotely
22 people since
has anything
2019
to do
have
with
found
anything.
his stuff, has found his material interesting enough that they actually want to follow him on Twitter. Look, I don't want to make fun of it. I've only got like 1,400 followers on Twitter. It's not much, but to be
Okay, exactly. You have 1,000 followers on Twitter, and you've been basically doing social media stuff for years. This dude just writes articles. So you have no right to shame either in this situation because your follower account is shit also. So's mine, but I'm not out there shaming follower accounts.
be a writer and to have this many people following you means you're probably not doing something right. And I think we can guess what it is. But anyway,
but
here's
neither
the
are
magic
you.
part. I fully expect Star Citizen will announce its first NFT ship sale. Star Citizen, look, there's no nice straw manning. Wow.
Yeah, that's
great straw man over there.
That's shitty.
There's absolutely
They've been selling
nothing that says
NFTs
Star
since
Citizen is going down
2012.
the
What are you
NFT
talking
route.
about?
And after what we saw happen with Ubisoft, why would they entertain it? Actually, that's a great topic I want to discuss in a future video. Subscribe right now because I'm going to do an NFT video and explain what might happen. But to simply say he fully expects it to happen, what straw manning, what nonsense. Star Citizen scammery and crypto scammery,
I'll buy the NFT
match made in
of
heaven,
the-
and titling together. Definitely the worst
The motorcycle
business model.
handle.
Again, demonstrating that in whatever communist country he lives in, they just don't understand capitalism. That when a company makes money, it's because the business model must be good. If a business
Good
model
for
is
who?
bad, then a company does.
Good for who? Who do you make your games for? Maybe this is a communist outlook, but you make your games for the player. And I understand Star Citizen is still making the game and needs the funding, but you make the game for the player. And if the business model directly affects the player's experience, that can be considered problematic.
Does not make money, but I guess this might be just over his head. Ben Griggs, what do you bring for us? World of Warships. He wanted Star Citizen, but I guess Andy stole his thunder. Let's go. Brianna Royce, editor-in-chief. She can't let us down. Every year she brings the gold. Let's go. Star Citizen is the obvious pick as it's continuing to fundraise from backers while paying dividends to real investors. Nailed it.
Literally nailed it. That happened in 2020. 4.8 million paid back to the Calders in 2020. And we talked about it in our Discord a little bit. There's a conversation. I think it might still be there. Yeah, the financial discussion for 2020. That is the thing that I went, whoa, that is a little bit weird, because anytime you pay back your dividends earlier, the better to your investors. But in this case, that investment was told to us that it was specifically made for Squadron 42 advertising, so that they can keep the funding from the game completely funded by us, and our voice matters and blah, 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 blah. That is specifically for that. But now what they did is they took money from Star Citizen and they paid back dividends to those investors off of Star Citizen money. And I find that somewhat problematic. At least that's what it looks like in the funding post that they made on the Cloud Imperium Games website. So, yeah.
She got us good, boys. Well, again, let me explain the fiduciary responsibility of companies to their shareholders. If you are a shareholder in a company and you own shares which owe you dividends, it is the fiduciary responsibility of the company to pay you dividends when they make a profit. What she's referring to is the CIG part of the UK part of CIG had a surplus and some profits. Typically, they always break even or slightly in the red. But because this past year they didn't expand offices because of COVID,
it's my understanding that was paid to the Calders, but who knows?
They received in the UK. They passed on that tax credit and profits to their shareholders, as every good, money-loving capitalist.
He's such a capitalist. It's hilarious. But he could be right here and I could be wrong, but it was my understanding that that money was paid to the Calders.
Listed company does, or always should. So to complain that paying off your investors, I think she's referring to the Calder family who put in upwards of 65 million, to pay them the dividends they are owed, which is the responsibility of the company.
Okay, so we are on the same page.
Bad thing. Again, bizarre world. Because
it's not a bad thing, but again, it was the communication. As always, that was bad. That money was for Squadron, but Star Citizen funds its money through Star Citizen and gives the money to Squadron. And none of that return, or very little of that return, shows in the game. And that is where this funding model is even worse than we talked about earlier.
Because somehow that's not supposed to happen now. She's pretty sick of the consistent barrage of crypto and NFT games. Yeah, we agree with that.
No, the Calders are not the only shareholders. So is Turbulent now. There was like a swap.
Scam suckers into whales. Yeah, sure, we get that. Dual Universe gets a nod. World of Warcraft. Okay. So, nice try there, Brianna Royce. But again, I don't think she understands how markets work. I don't think she understands how shares work. I don't think she understands how dividends work. But that's okay, because I'll explain it to her in this video right over here. Carlo, what World of Warcraft? That's fine. Chris Neal. Okay, so here's the interesting one. Chris Neal, he says Dual Universe also hates crypto. Now, Chris Neal is an interesting one, because Chris Neal
is a Star Citizen fan, I believe.
Is Massively OP's hedge. Massively OP sees the popularity of Star Citizen. They see that it could potentially be something amazing. So they don't want to be negative too much. They want to have balance. They want to say, well, look, Chris Neal wrote wonderful stuff. Now, Chris Neal doesn't actually give an opinion. Chris Neal just writes what he sees, right? So here's an example. Back in October, Chris Neal wrote whatever the financial report was about. So here's one just from today. Chris Neal basically jumping onto Reddit, seeing what's going on, and just posting news. He doesn't give an opinion. He's just telling you what he sees. I guess it's a kind of nice way to try to hedge it. But basically, he's posting about Zark Media, who's that guy who walks around Star Citizen doing kind of news reporting. Zark Media did a cute little Luminalia event. He goes, yeah, it's Luminalia. And here's a surprise for you. Everyone's going to surprise you as you come out, all done in the machinima style. I think we were including here, weren't we, Zark Media? Yes, we were. There we go. There's a test logo down there. Logo. Thank you very much for including us in that. And so Chris Neal basically taking news, just posting on the site. And I'm pretty sure this is just Massively OP's way of hedging in case it does become popular. And the reason why I do think they're hedging also, if you take a look at Bree, Here's Bree Royce, editor-in-chief. Note that she says her favorite MMO's top one is Star Wars Galaxies. So we know she's a sci-fi MMO fan. And we know that when Star Citizen really kicks into high gear, she's going to be in there every single day. And she's going to love it. But she also knows that telling people how much you like a game doesn't get you clicks. You have to tell people why they should hate a game. And if you can't give good enough reasons, make up a reason why they should hate the game, because they are definitely getting into scamming with crypto. Oh, Bree. Anyway, let's continue. So, let's see. Colin says anything NFTs. Elliot says Star Citizen, get your award. Justin says anything with blockchain NFT. Mia says Gamigo, I don't know who that is. Sam says Arcade. And Tyler, closing it up, bring it home, Tyler. It will always be Star Citizen until they either release a game or stop taking people's money. Again, proving that Tyler also does not understand capitalism and does not understand
take,
money
but don't
and does
give
not
back.
understand business.
That's capitalism,
because if you can sell people ships and you can bring in this kind of money, why would you stop? And don't get me wrong here. There's plenty to be critical about Star Citizen,
in chat,
but
man.
they are definitely
capitalism, brother.
A lot of what they said more and more.
Hold on. What the fuck is this absolutely brain dead chart that he's looking at? What is this dumbass chart? Like, what is even on this? Orison mascot suit, 100% done. Ships. Operator mode, done. Oh, is operator mode done? Sure, they can make operator modes, but they need to make about 300 more for that to be considered done. Half of these things are armor and outfits. Look at this. Physical quantum travel movement is not done. The green, what is this? This chart, it makes no sense.
Of what they said more
so I don't
and
know what
more
he's
and
looking
more.
at.
Can you see this? There was a time, you see this, the small tail end? There was a time where this tail end was up here. You can't see my mouse. I'm pointing towards like the top 1/4 of the chart.
Bro, they keep adding things to the chart. The chart never ends. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
The tail end began there, and as time goes on, that tail is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, meaning more and more and more of the game is completed, and we're playing it right now. And I can tell you from what I see happening in my Discord, now we don't have stats as to how many people are playing.
Hold on, what I see happening in my Discord, but I don't have any stats.
Star Citizen, the poll, wait. Let me just finish my thought here. We don't have the stats about how many people are actively playing Star Citizen right now. But what I can tell you is from what I see in my organization.
More
now,
people
I
are
have
playing,
an organization
100%.
in the game called Test Squadron. We are a large org, and we are essentially a microcosm of what's happening in the game. And from what I can see in my Discord stats is a massive ramp up in activity, not only in messages, but in voice channels. Look at this massive ramp up we're having here. These numbers I have not seen in a very, very long time. There are more people playing Star Citizen now than I have ever
100%. The game is better than it's ever been.
Seen before.
100%.
The game is only getting bigger. The game is only getting better. And the game is only getting further and further along with every release. So to say...
but that doesn't change that the funding model is not good for the game.
They have to stop taking people's money. Blatant, arrogant display of not understanding non-traditional business
Checkmate
model.
communists.
But again, I guess this is massively OP. We can expect so much from them. So after reading, here's the best part, okay? So after reading all of this, talk about guiding people to an answer. If you knew nothing about Star Citizen, and now you read that article, and now you came to a poll, goes, so what do you think, guys? Well, let me think. I don't know. Star Citizen, crypto? It seems that every single one of them hates Star Citizen crypto. It must be one of these, or maybe I should choose EverQuest. I don't know. Let's view the results. What do you think the results will show? Drum roll, please. Shocking. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. My thanks again to Massively OP for your wonderful pile of garbage. I look forward to next year's one. And as we continue to grow as a community in Star Citizen and continue to love and play the game as it gets better and better, you can continue picking away at it, and you will wonder how
what's
everyone
gotcha?
Else... What's that meme where everyone's enjoying the game and the guy comes in and goes, "Stop playing the game, stop having fun"? That's exactly what's happening. That's all it is. Well,
no, because nobody's telling you to not have fun in the game. They're talking about the funding model and how it may affect the game. I think it's a perspective thing. Gotcha's basically just gambling and stuff. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this year's coverage of Massively OP's
I did, as
horrible
always.
attempt at actual journalism. Chris Neal, stay good, man. We love you. The rest of you, not so much. And with that, if you enjoy my content, thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.
Will do. Dude, I really think it's just a perspective thing with Montoya. He takes it from the business side. I think he owns a business and does well for himself in his like normal life, his non like Star Citizen YouTube channel life, and he's taking that perspective. And from that perspective, absolutely, they're doing okay, to be honest. If you look at other games, they do have like way more meteoric rises, where Star Citizens is kind of slow to get up to something like 400 million. And I just don't look at it from that perspective. I'm not a CEO of anything. I don't look at it from that business owner perspective or the shareholder perspective. I look at it as somebody who wants to play the game and wants the game to be the best that it can be. And I think that the funding model does have an effect on the game being the best it can be. And that's really it. And that's why I think it is one of the worst. But it also wouldn't have got a Star Citizen. So I kind of have to accept that fact. But at the same time, it doesn't change my opinion.